The border wall is once again taking center stage, as we just said, and President Trump isn't waiting on Congress to keep moving forward on building it. Fisher Sand and Gravel Company is one of 4 companies selected to build the cement prototype, and the CEO, Tommy Fisher, joins us now with more. Tommy, you have designed a big wall. I've seen some pictures of it. It's one of 4 prototypes. The lack of funding is there from Congress. Give us a sense. How big is that wall that we're looking at a picture of right now?
Yeah, ours is a wall, not a see-through fence. It's an actual wall. It's 30 feet tall, 30 inches thick of concrete, and it will work. And one of the things, Jason, listening to the last viewer, we put a proposal on Department of Homeland Security's desk to build 700 miles in roughly 5 years through California, New Mexico, and Arizona, complete with high-speed roads for the agents that will actually work for $10.77 billion backed by a bond. There's no cost overruns. We're here to do exactly what we came to, is deliver border security for every single American, and we can prove it works.
Now, the terrain is not all flat. You've got places with riverbeds. You have some mountainous areas, particularly in New Mexico. So what do you do on those portions of it? Is the wall for the entire span, or what do you do about those mountain areas?
Absolutely no exceptions for mountains. With our patented system, we do step footings on the bottom. We keep a consistent top. We can go up 17% grades and build the roads that the agents can. And furthermore, I included a smaller proposal to build 15 miles in 1 year. So that current fence that they're building right now in Calexico, the government has given basically 300 days to build 2 miles. With one crew, we can build 15 miles. So the difference is we're building a wall, not a fence. President Trump had it right. Congress did not do him justice by basically limiting the only thing they could spend is on a fence, not a wall. Imagine if General Mattis got in the military budget $700 billion, but there was a caveat on that you could only build old military options. That doesn't work. And basically the fence basically wears out in 30 years, best case scenario. I've got places where it rusted in basically 10 years. So our point is,
what about the point, though, some people have said, look, you build a wall, we're just going to build a tunnel. And there really are intelligence in being able to detect a tunnel. What do we do then? How far down into the ground, for instance, does that wall go?
Well, it goes 6 feet, but we have ways that if you cover up with our spread footing where our footings work, you can track tunnels to within maybe 2 or 3 feet of variability. And when I put 2 high-speed access roads on both sides of the wall, you have views both ways. So basically, if they did build a tunnel, we could pull right up on a road, just like you'd fill an old coal pit or anything else. You could basically auger down and fill it full of grout.
Now, so have you had people try to go up and over it? I mean, are people able to go up and over it?
No, because we're going to just think about this, Jason. You're going to have an access road for the Border Patrol agents that's sitting 40 feet off the border right now, that they're on a paved road that the agents can't be detected. So you want to put up a ladder where an agent can drive right up on you? That'd be like you asking to put up a ladder on a highway, and the border agents are coming every couple minutes. So when we build what we can build, literally those agents can travel 6 to 10 times as fast as they do because they have access. In the end, you have to build a barrier, and our barrier lasts 150 years. But then we got to give access to these agents so they can protect every one of our lives.
Well, listen, it's an interesting prototype. I know there are 3 others that have also gotten an approved prototype in place, but I do think personally, I think the president's right. You do need a wall because it works, and anything we can do to help our Border Patrol agents do their job because of the influx is the right thing. So thank you again, sir, for being here.